Scene Media. I'm your host for today, David, and we're going to put some headers on the 5 Series wagon. So I've been on YouTube. I've been looking for a lot of videos, how-tos, do-it-yourself stuff on these headers that you can get off of eBay. The thing is you always see it done on the E46. Excuse me. You never see it done on a E39, 528, or anything like that. If you do, it's very vague. I think there's a couple of videos out there. I mean, I could be wrong, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a short video myself of my attempt to install them on my wagon. So, of course, I have the wagon back here. I've already putting it up on the jack stands and everything. We also can get up through here for a couple of things, but like I said, it's just me trying to get some things pre-ready to go so that I can get the headers in. So I've already started pulling some of the bolts and everything for the covers and all that stuff, and then we have the O2 sensors that we're going to have to unplug. Label your O2 sensors because they will be going back in, and there are those big old ugly manifolds with the cats on them, and the new manifolds, our headers, do not have caps. We've already replaced all the cooling system and that little stain from the filling, but it's no big deal. We replaced all the hoses, sensors, radiator, expansion tank, fan shroud, all kind of stuff. Everything's been replaced there. But then I ended up getting a high performance water pump and new thermostat housing and everything. Even though it's not overheating or anything like that, just want to make sure that all that stuff is taken care of. So we're also going to have to do the SAP delete, the secondary air pump. This thing has been giving me codes since day one and is not seeming to want to go away or even work. So instead of paying $400 for a new one, what I'm going to do is go ahead and take it out. And as you can see, it's got a very brittle hose there, so I'm pretty sure it's just a crack in the hose, the reason why it keeps doing what it's doing. But we're going to fab us a little block off plate to go right up in there just as well. And then the tube and everything comes out. It's sitting up under this plate right here. Also, I'm gonna end up having to do a little episode on the air conditioning as well, because air conditioning seems to want it to gone out lately. Not really sure if it's the compressor or if it just needs to be charged, but it just seemed to be kind of sudden within the last couple of months. But that's going to be a different episode. So what I'm trying to do here is I'm going to start sharing a little bit of the build process on the BMW, just because I've been doing everything myself. So I'm not a BMW mechanic. I am mechanically inclined. I do understand everything that goes on with a car. So it's not really hard. You just do your research. You got to go more than YouTube videos, guys. You got to get in there and get into those forums. You can find some old forums right around when these cars were a little bit newer, and you'd be surprised at the information that you can find, from diagrams, how-tos, do-it-yourself. They'll tell you what size socket you need. You can get the pre-warnings, like messing with these things. These bolts, they're iffy. If you break one, you can't just go somewhere and get them. Although I did luck up and find some at Napa, but they are not exactly BMW stud bolts, but they are the same pitch. They are the same, the same M7 by 44, whatever. But they're exactly the same. they're just not the same. If that makes any sense to you. So this is going to be everybody always warns us, 7-hour job, 7-hour job. It is what it is. So what we're going to do is I'm not going to just film the entire job. What I'm going to do is just pull some stuff off, stop along the way, make an update, and I'm going to edit it all up into one deal, and that's what you're seeing now. And hopefully it will give somebody some understanding on what's going on here when they're trying to do the same thing. Eventually, we're going to pull this thing out. We're going to put LS1 in it. Yes, I'm going LS. And part of the reason is for reliability and the opportunity for more horsepower. The plans for the touring, well, you know, high horsepower, you know, just a crazy dailyable car, you know, that can drift, and, you know, can do track as well as be manageable on the street. So let's just go on ahead and get on into taking some of this stuff apart. And like I said, I'm going to pause out and I'm going to take apart now all this upper stuff so we can access the inner O2 sensors. The back ones actually wire up to here, so we have to take this off, and take that off. And then once we get all that stuff unbuckled and everything, I'm going to take the heat shields off. I'm going to do the motor mount so that we can access the screws a little bit easier. It also makes it easier to pull the old manifolds out. And then once you get to all that, then, you know, the fun begins, you know, messing around with those manifolds and then getting them out. So it's 16 bolts, and then you got to wiggle them out that way. And everybody's like, well, take the first one out, you know, this one out first. So that's what we're going to do. We're also going to take this off, and we'll have that ready and out of the way to make a plate to fit right here. Sure, you can buy one, but why do that, right? We'll just go on ahead and make one, and it'll be just as good, and we can put the original bolts back on there. So let's just go ahead and get to that, because I just spent 8 minutes talking about what I'm going to do, and I'm going to have to edit that out. So appreciate you guys, you know, watching this video, and hope that you can get something out of it and enjoy. So here we go. Well, all right, so we got a lot taken out. Don't look like it, but motor mount, heat shield, SAP valve down there. We got a lot of room. Took out another heat shield on the bottom down there. Ended up getting a lot of room to start doing the manifolds right now. And took out the front, the foremost O2 sensors. I'm going to leave the other ones in, but they are unplugged and ready to come out. So everything's going as planned, and I would say I probably got maybe 2 good hours in on this, and then this shit happens. Boo. Okay, so we gotten the manifolds out and got the new headers in. Just as mocking them up just to see if all the bungs and everything sit in the right place for the O2 sensors. We have concern of one that's back here, and that one. So the ones back there seem to fit pretty good. So it's dark, and we'll probably finish this thing up tomorrow. But we got about right around 6 hours into taking everything out. So, alright, so like this is basically the next day. As you can see that sun had to go on ahead and give it a little bit of a rest last night. But we did I did get a little bit further with everything here. So, just to kind of give you an idea of how far I got. Now, of course, you know, I've got to go and basically just finish up. Stopped last night with one gasket in, both of them mocked in, but one gasket in, one the front one tightened up, and still got to put the motor mount and everything back together, let the motor back down in its original spot, and you know, just basically button all this stuff up. So I guess what I'm gonna do is just jump back on that, and then we'll pull back and get us a finishing shot, since there are plenty of videos out there of the how-to and everything. So today we can get back at it. It doesn't exactly look like complete blue skies out here today, but we're gonna go on ahead and get this thing finished. Hey, but I did pull it in enough to where the essentials aren't getting wet. Just a splash up. This sucks balls.